today, everyone. As president of Strictly Speaking, Advanced Toastmasters Club number 6449, I am proud to be a member of District 24's first and oldest Advanced Toastmasters Club. As we celebrate our 20th anniversary, we're proud to host this breakout session today, and we'll be joined by the other 4 advanced specialty clubs in presenting a little bit today to you about our unique focuses and how we can benefit you. Our moderator today is a fellow club member, Tammy Lane, and she is Vice President of Education for Strictly Speaking, as well as Vice President of Education for the Advanced Traveling Toastmasters Club and Vice President of Public Relations for Southeast Toastmasters. She wears a lot of hats. There are still some more. Be prepared. She is a Toastmaster since 2007, and Advanced Communicator Silver, Advanced Leader Bronze, and currently our Division C Director. Tammy will lead the fast-paced, interesting educational session today. Please join me in welcoming.
All together. I had a great idea. You know, one thing I've learned about being a Toastmaster is all about leadership. That's kind of why I keep coming back to see how I can become a better leader. And maybe we can say no when you ask for something. Right? We're all really good at that. So leaders always have a great vision. I've got this great vision. Now stay with me. Breakout session, fall conference. Let's talk about advanced clubs. That's all I can tell you.
Well, that sounds exciting.
Well, we've done it before. We've had panel sessions. Ask us some questions. Well, how could that not be?
Panel sessions are boring.
That didn't work out.
Didn't work out. I wasn't there, so I'm just making that up.
So what should we do then? No, you were talking truth. It wasn't. Yeah. Okay.
We gotta do something exciting. We gotta come up with something new.
Did anybody come to that breakout session? Did you advertise it? Did you market it? Did you talk it up?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
We do a little bit.
Didn't know that. Well then, we were approved though to present, so this is gonna be great. You guys are really good. You're all advanced Toastmasters. You're experts in your field.
We gotta do something that no one would expect.
I would agree with that. But Tammy, have we figured out who we're supposed to be targeting here?
Oh, I don't know. I just had the idea. Come on, help me think.
I mean, we gotta have a goal, right?
Anybody that shows up, that's our target.
Nick, do you have any suggestions?
I think we need to have a goal. Goals. Goals are essential things to have because without them, nothing ever gets done. Correct? Do you agree with that? Ever tried going on a trip somewhere without having a map and a destination in mind? Now, I'm sure some of you actually have done that, but you're what we call people who are weird. But that's okay. We like weird people too. But still, if you want to try to get anything done, you want to have a goal. And when I think about goals, I think about what my dad was teaching me when I was 7 years old. I was a lot shorter back then. He was teaching me darts. Now, those of you guys who don't know, he taught me a game called 301. And the game of 301 is you're trying to get down to 0. You start at 301 and you hit points here and you try to get down to 0 as soon as you can. The trick about this game, though, is that you have to go out on a double, which is on this outer ring here, okay? Now, when I'm this tall, this 3 down here looks awfully close. So my strategy was to get down to 6 points so I can hit a double 3 and I win. So what happens, I take that dart and I throw it, and what happens, it hits right there, just below the double 3. No points. So I aim again, and I throw it, and what happens? Right above the 3. This is a problem now, because if I don't score anything else here, next turn I have to get this double 1. This double 1 is about 1.5 miles away when you're 7 years old. Right now, I want to get back to 3. So basically, if I hit anywhere on the board, I'm going to go back to go bust, and back to my 6 points from next turn, right? So I have my third dart, my last dart, and I throw it, and what happens? Bam! Off to the edge of the board. Isn't it amazing how if you aim for something this small, you just miss. But when you aim for something this broad, you just miss. In Dynamic Speakers, our job is to help you folks be prepared for careers in professional speaking. This is what our mission is, this is what we strive ourselves to do every day. Now, the traditional Toastmasters program is extremely useful in giving you effective professional speaking skills. And the National Speakers Association is very adept, does a fine job of serving those who are already in the speaking profession. But there has never been an organization that helps make someone makes the transition from one to the other, until now. So I encourage you, thinking about goals. If you're interested in being part of our club, we will help you refine your goals so that we can take your speaking to the next level. Now, keep that in mind, but now let's get back to the task at hand. Maybe we need a goal, Dave.
Well, our goal is to really,
Isn't this conference about leadership?
it is about leadership.
So shouldn't we maybe work some leadership into this thing?
How do you define leadership?
Well, is that something you think we should talk about then?
I think we could talk about leadership.
Something at the breakout session?
Yeah, breakout
Something
session.
about
Good.
leadership?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but leadership is about getting everybody involved.
Well, leadership is about character.
Leadership is a challenge. Leadership is about building confidence. Leadership is about character. Leadership is a challenge. All of us are challenged to become leaders. How often are we approached by someone and say, would you be able to help this club and become an officer? And then you go, sure, I can do that. Well, great, I'm glad that you volunteered to be president of that club. I'm really glad that, and you get to pick those people that will help you become part of this club. So leadership can be that challenge. But as a leader, it builds confidence. Confidence in your abilities to perform, to organize groups. And again, I always say Toastmasters is a place to practice. Practice your leadership to build that confidence. Because we all know character helps with success. If you have the challenge in front of you, you're able to step forward and meet that challenge to build your confidence. The character that you become should also become successful because that character is important. Leadership is about the challenge, about building your confidence, and about building your character. And as a member of Strictly Speaking Club, we can help you do that and achieve all of those.
You touched me.
Really?
Yes. Did you learn anything? No, I tried. Teach.
Well, let's learn more about leadership. What are we going to talk about in this session?
Yeah, no, Sandy said that, leadership is about getting everyone involved, but how do we get all the wallflowers involved? How do we get those people who are sitting at the fringes, how do they get involved?
They're talking about me. Well, at least how I used to be. I'm serious. How many of you were afraid to meet people growing up? To the point where you would hide behind anybody available? Because it was scary. Literally. I would hide behind mom and dad anytime they wanted me to meet anybody. And mom kept going, boy, it's okay, honey, you'll outgrow it. No. Marriage didn't do it. Having babies didn't do it. Got me into Toastmasters. Wow. But it didn't take long. I found out I was going to need to do more. You know, there's some pieces and parts that have helped me. Let's use this flower if you don't mind. Can I use this? You know, flowers come from a root, a basis, from where we grow, help produce a nice tall stem that we can stand tall. But you know, as wallflowers, we like to be plastered anywhere we can hide. Leaves on a flower don't do that. They stand out and assert some confidence. Yeah, standing up a little better, that feels good. Moving on up the flower, the bloom itself. The character of the flower. Oh my gosh, everyone is different. And that's a good thing. But you know what I've learned mostly? Getting into the advanced clubs lets you get deeper into your skills and really find what they are. I'm challenging every one of you in this room. You can do it. There are 5 great clubs in this district, serving different areas and different purposes. One may not be enough for you. Minches. I'll leave that with you guys. I'm serious. Advanced clubs really give you the opportunity to expand your leadership skills because you get to practice more. You have more time in the advanced clubs to do your in-depth speeches. And they are worth every minute of your once-a-month meeting. Because everybody only meets once a month, right? I'm watching you. You're going to be signing up. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I'll try to be.
I like where this is going. You see our wallflowers find their new role in life and grow and try something new, step out of our comfort zones of our home clubs and get to be around other experienced Toastmasters. What a great way to promote an advanced club. I like where this is going.
You know, ultimately, leadership progress is a matter of doing something about your comfort zone. Every one of you walks through life surrounded by a box. You can't see it, you don't really know it's there, but try to do something exciting and new, like getting up in front of the office at a district conference. And that box just starts putting pressure on you. That box is your comfort zone. If you're going to grow, you've got to do something about it. I mean, think about it. What's your comfort zone? That's where you want to be. What do people say? Step out of your comfort zone. What happens when you do? You jump right back in. Now, all of us join Toastmasters, except maybe Don Carnish, to become a better speaker. And the CC manual takes you through a little by little in a comfortable setting where you don't have to worry about getting booed. And by the time you get done, you're pretty comfortable with it. You can get up in front of your club and give a speech. Then you get a phone call. It's the chairman of the nominations committee. And they say, would you like to run for an office? And that box just comes crashing in. And you mutter, let me think about it. But wait a minute. Toastmasters is all about learning by doing. Well, you're getting that CC, you've been working the CL, right? Some people, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Let me hear that.
Yes.
What's a CL do? It gets you comfortable by step making you a meeting leader. You're a Toastmaster 6 times, you general evaluator a bunch of times. Like a few people here, you're evaluating somebody, giving feedback, and your comfort zone has stretched to where you can lead a meeting. So, take that office. It's not that big a stretch. And after that, get involved outside your club. The leadership track gets you involved in your club, gets you involved leading your club, and gets you involved outside your club. Become a district leader. If you're really ambitious, become an international leader. You can do it, it's just a matter of stretching that zone. What do advanced clubs do for you? I'm representing Road to DTM. Our goal is to help people become DTMs. Since we've chartered, we have had at least 4 DTMs awarded in our club. We have had other members who used the opportunities to become DTM as part of their program. What Road to DTM does is we have excellent, experienced speakers and leaders, and if you want to learn to be the best, you have to learn and work with the best. Toastmasters, it's been said, is a safe place to fail. Join an advanced club. Don't worry about failing. We had one member who was very experienced. It took her a year to give her first speech, and she didn't fail. She's getting her DTM later today.
You know, I also believe that leadership is about building connections.
Connections, what kind of connections? That's what you're talking
Really? I never told you the story about why I started and how Toastmasters has transformed me and my leadership abilities.
about. I just thought you were always this way.
No.
Let's hear it.
I'm shocked.
My name is Sandy Yeager, and I'm Advanced Communicator Gold and Advanced Leader Bronze. This is my 3rd attempt at getting my DTM. I'll get it at the end of this year. I introduce myself as the most extroverted introvert you'd ever meet. The only thing difference between me and a turtle is a turtle has its shell. One of the things that I received when I joined Toastmasters first is a mentor. How many of us have mentors? How many of us are first timers? As a first timer, if you don't have a mentor, go get one. And I will mentor you. My mentor, the very first thing that he did besides helping me with my speeches is he literally drove me to Beatrice conference. That was 3.5 years ago. This month. So 3 years ago. And I was a first timer, and he told me I had to do this and go meet who and who, and I would say, I'm Sandy, can you please sign off one of these? I'm Sandy, can you please sign off one of these? And guess what? I was building connections. In my work that I do, I work in public health in Grand Island, and I really like doing behind the scenes public education, or not public education, not being in front of the scenes, the marketing and PR. That is what I really like because I can sit behind the computer and do all that. But I really needed to get out there and make sure the turtle kept his shell and not give it to me. And so I decided I was going to join another club. And guess what I did? I built more connections. And then the more district events that I went to, I made more connections. Well, then I was started giving more tasks, not just in my field of work, but within my community. And my son is huge into Boy Scouts, or he was huge into Boy Scouts. And I'm a merit badge counselor, and I couldn't have done that without Toastmasters. But the district executive for Boy Scouts said, Sandy, I want to see you in my office. Come over. Yes, Dave? Sandy, I want you to spearhead this council to reach $1 million in sales for popcorn. I said, Thank you for having so much faith in me and my busy schedule. But I built connections in Toastmasters. Keith,
Yes.
will you spearhead this with me?
Sure.
Thank you. So Keith and I, we spearheaded the event with another Toastmaster from Kearney who has since left the state, and with the council. And I don't know where the sales went, but I bet you they were so close to 1 million if they didn't reach 1 million and if they didn't go over, because we led the boys in the inaugural Popcorn University, which just completed their second annual event this year. Right now, I am leading a Great American Smokeout event in Grand Island, and it is community-wide, and there are going to be free health screenings for the minority and disparate populations. And I needed a provider that would do on-site 1-800-QUIT-NOW fax referrals. And if I did not have a provider in one of my Toastmaster clubs, I don't know, it would be an extra stretch to have to try to find a provider. But I went and knocked on his office door and I said, "Hey, Mark, you're a provider. Will you do this with me?" Guess what he said? Yes. And then guess what he wrote me? He wrote me an email and he said, "Guess what? I got you another provider too." Okay. Toastmasters is all about building connections, and it helps build you in your leadership capabilities. Now, I represent Advanced Traveling Toastmasters, and we are a traveling club, which lets you build connections across the entire state, because we are not a stationary club. We do not stay seated in one location. We like to travel. So where our members are, our members get to host a meeting, and we invite the community so we can extend our reach and build connections.
Tammy, I like the leadership thought. I really like the connections part. But let me tell you about how Friday went for me.
Okay.
It was miserable. I live in corporate America, and I think the whole plan there is that they want a project to fail, they plan a meeting. It must be the plan, and that's the challenge, and that's where I think Advanced Toastmasters of Omaha can really help. Advanced Toastmasters of Omaha meets in a boardroom. We have a really structured meeting, and the challenge, the way it can help me in those other meetings where people just come in, people come to Advanced Toastmasters of Omaha prepared. They have a presentation, they're ready to talk. And then we do something that's really strange. We do round robin evaluations. I think many of the other advanced clubs do it too. Let me tell you the strength of that and how that applies to corporate meetings. Because that's what happens in a corporate meeting. Someone comes in, does a presentation, and then everyone hides and they do their things on their little pads, or they go do something else, and they don't talk about it, or they do talk about it, or they don't talk about it until they leave the meeting. In Advanced Toastmasters, by our round robin, everybody there gets to talk about the presentation that was made. And not only that, our standing rule at Advanced Toastmasters is everyone says something different. It's sort of like table topics on steroids, because you have to have understood the presentation, something that doesn't always happen in my corporate meetings. And once you understand it, you have to be able to digest it and look at how it touched you and how you can touch others. That's something that we don't really get to do in our weekly club meetings. I think the real purpose of advanced clubs, especially Advanced Toastmasters of Omaha, is the function of teaching us how to work in a high-level meeting event, because we structure it to be just that. I would somehow or other, Tammy, like to really bring out the fact that this teaches us not only to be leaders in our own world, but leaders in industry, leaders in our organizations, leaders in our homes, of course, in our churches, but it helps the leaders. Advanced Toastmasters of Omaha meets in a boardroom with the function of trying to teach people and helping us each build our skills on how we can lead in a meeting situation. That's my thoughts. And we can work that in.
I think we're kind of reaching a consensus for these breakout sessions. This is what I've heard so far. We've learned about goal setting. I mean, that's really important for Toastmasters. We learned about building character, how leadership is all about character. I agree with that. And think about those wallflowers. I wonder how we can get them involved in a breakout session. When they're just in the audience, I wonder if anybody would just join in. That'd be really cool if that were to happen. What about comfort zone, connections, planning a meeting? I think we've got something going for this breakout session.
Do you think there's any way we can put this together? I don't know if we can pull it off, though.
You know, Tammy, I like all what you're saying here, but ultimately leadership's about doing something. People don't want to see us get up and start prattling on without any purpose.
That's true.
Maybe we should do a role play of this whole meeting.
At the breakout session? Do we have to write a script or rehearse?
Don't worry, we'll take care of
Well,
it.
you know, I'm not gonna be there Friday night, so I'm gonna leave it up to you.
We're just going to completely ad-lib the
Okay.
entire thing.
Well, I'll meet up with you Saturday morning, we'll kind of just make sure we're all gonna hear. I guess that'd be a good thing, make sure you're all here.
You know, this sounds
I think so.
crazy.
What could possibly go wrong?
It is something creative,
That's true.
and it's not what anybody would ever expect.
I don't think anybody's ever done this before.
That's,
But leave it to us, the advanced Toastmasters, right?
To lead the way.
I think if it'll come to our session, they'll say, oh, not more about advanced clubs. I saw that panel last time. You really could show up. I mean, there's some other pretty good breakout sessions. And, you know, the hospitality room is always fun to hang out in. People come.
Maybe we should just go to hospitality.
Maybe we should just hang out in there.
You know, there might be a few people here, maybe they have some questions for us
You
or
might
something.
have some questions for us.
That's crazy talk.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that. There's somebody in the audience. Did you know that we were with people today? Where did they come from? Oh, hi, audience.
Welcome to your brainstorming session.
Oh, sorry, we thought this was close.
This doesn't look like Panera Bread at all.
Oh, there's a
I
question.
like, I like what I'm hearing, but how do I join? What do I do? Am I qualified?
Well, you know, I thought I saw something upstairs. Did you see some, there's 2 tables with some trifolds and flyers.
And there's even some membership forms up in a couple of.
Well, what do you have to do? Do you have to have any kind of qualification to join?
Well, you know, our club kind of does have some.
Ours does.
Right. So, how many of you are finished with your competent communicator?
Anybody in the audience? Oh, wow.
Okay.
Ooh.
How many of you are really, really, really close?
Oh.
That's everybody.
That's
That
exactly
is,
everybody.
right?
We got some new members here.
Right, yes. So you have to finish your competent communicator. And if you're very, very close, do you make exceptions for those that are very, very close?
They can visit.
Right, for sure. And then also, you have to be a member of another club in good standing.
No,
Well,
that does
is
not.
anybody in
that
the
doesn't-
audience a member of a club in good standing?
Is anyone a member of Toastmasters in the room?
There are Toastmasters in the room, I guess.
Is anyone not a member? I think it's 100%.
I will say that dynamic speakers is an exception to this rule.
Okay.
You do not need to become a communicator, nor do you need to actually be a member of another club.
And I got to add, Road to DTM is just a secondary membership club. You do not have to have a CC. It can be your first club, brand new, and it's a great place to meet some really good people.
But I think all of our clubs are looking for people who are interested in growing and learning. So if you're interested in growing and learning, we're the club for you.
Right, and we have a
I
question.
have a question. Where are you located? I'm new to Nebraska.
Great, that's a good
So where are you
question.
located?
Well, George, where is your, in the boardroom, where do you?
The boardroom is at the First National Bank Consortium. It's really 100 Valmont Drive. If you're taking the West Dodge Road, leave on the 137th Street exit, take the first left. You'll come right in the back door, drive between the 2 buildings, and there's our entrance. But it's called 100 Valmont Drive. We meet 6 o'clock on every second Monday of the year.
PM here.
Yeah, 6 p.m.
Of the month.
Just in January then?
Yeah, every month, yeah, every month.
Dynamic speakers meets every third Tuesday of the month at 6 o'clock. And it's at the Nines Restaurant, which is attached to, what's the name of the hotel? Embassy Suites over in La Vista.
Okay, where? I'm writing this down.
The Embassy Suites in La Vista, the Nines Restaurant.
And come upstairs and we will actually give you an application that shows right where we meet in a folder.
And what
So
day
where's
do you
La
meet?
Vista?
You meet on Tuesdays, the
Cabela's.
third Tuesday of the month at 6 o'clock.
That's all you gotta say.
Which
Yeah,
is,
Cabela's.
which is this Tuesday, by the way.
That's right.
This coming Tuesday.
Just to see all you guys.
Across the street from Cabela's.
So it means every, what, monthly?
Monthly, once a month.
They just meet someplace. Road to DTM also meets in the same conference complex as, strictly speaking, dynamic speakers. Sorry, Linda, I have trouble with those two names.
Dynamic strictly.
Dynamic. Second Saturday of each month, 1:30 in the afternoon. If you happen to be in the deck, that's a great way to finish the afternoon where you're already excited about Toastmasters anyway. I forget the name of the hotel. It's Courtyard Marriott, which is at the other end, across from Cabela's, at the other end of the conference center.
Everybody got that down, road to DTM. So you meet, which month, when will you meet this month?
We already did.
Already did? So next time will be November
We the
second Saturday in November?
It's generally the same Saturday as DECDOT. So those
November
14th. Thank you.
How about strictly speaking? Okay, I'd love to talk about one of my advanced clubs. I love advanced clubs so much, I'm in two of them. That's how much I enjoy 2015. I think a couple of you also might be in advanced clubs. And why do I keep doing this to myself? It is the one chance I get to meet, you get kind of comfortable in your home club. They've heard your speech, they told you talk too fast enough times. It's nice to hear, they're laughing, I see you two laughing. It's nice to hear that from other people too. And it gives you a chance to practice those longer speeches. I practiced a presentation that I gave at a conference last year. That was the best practice I ever had, was with my Toastmasters. So strictly speaking meets the fourth Saturday in Lincoln at from 9 to 11:30. Longer meeting, but it's worth it then because a lot of our members come from out of Lincoln, so it's worth to drive to Lincoln. We meet at Madonna, 52nd and, is that right? 52nd and South Street, the Flanagan Room. We would meet, we actually are not meeting this month because we're here. So our next meeting will be probably the 3rd November and the 3rd week of November, right? Because it's Thanksgiving, so. We'd love to have you join us. We've got information upstairs. Linda is a member. She's our president, actually, and Joyce and Linda will go on their members and Mike. So we've got some people here that would love to help you understand why our club is a good club. And I'm not taking away from Advanced Traveling Toastmasters because that's my other club. So come join us next month in Lincoln. So Sandy, tell us a little bit about Advanced Traveling Toastmasters.
I just want to